Hey there, Cindy Avery. Margaret, hi. Carla. Hey, Diane. All right. Getting a good crowd tonight. Hey, Karen, Mary, Kimberly, Shelley, hey there. Lisa, Diana, Kay, how are you? Hola, Sandra, Jeanette, hey, Froggy, Joanne, Helen, hey, Melissa, hey, Pam, Karen, Angela, Delia, hey, Virginia. Hi, Taffy from Pennsylvania. Hello, Tammy from South Carolina. Hope you guys are having a great week. Hope you had a great holiday week. I didn't do anything too exciting, just hung out, watched the fireworks on television, which was the most comfortable seat I could imagine. We're on fire restriction here, so no fireworks for us last week, but our monsoon season started last week, so we're getting our daily rain showers, which is wonderful. Hey, Liz, Rebecca, Patty, hi. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get started. We've got a lot to cover today. You know, since I'm answering all these questions in this group on Facebook and emails and things, and one of the most common questions that I've been getting is related to acne. And so I thought it'd be really good just to do a kind of a deep dive into acne so we can understand really what acne is, what contributes to the formation of acne breakouts, and also what we can do to treat the acne breakouts. You know, whether we're dealing with acne ourselves or whether we're consulting with a client who's dealing with acne, I think it's good to have a deeper understanding as to what the causes of acne are. I think one of the, it's easy for us to always assume that it's skincare related when in fact there are so many factors that contribute to acne breakouts that I think it's important to really consider all of those factors. What can be done to help prevent the formation of acne, understanding a lot of these factors, and also where the limitations of skincare really are, and when it's time to seek medical intervention for more severe or moderately severe acne. So to get started, I really just, and don't worry, I will post all these notes following our session here today, so you'll have all of these handy so you can take a look at your leisure. But I really wanted to start out by really reviewing the 4 stages of an acne breakout. You know, by the time that you see that red bump or that whitehead or blackhead, your blemish has actually gone through 4 stages to get there. Stage 1 is really a clogged hair follicle or pore. You know, your skin cells are reproducing and sloughing and renewing every day. And the good news is about every 30 days or so, you get a whole new fresh face of skin, which is wonderful. But if you're acne prone, these dead skin cells can mix with sebum or the oil that's on the skin and become clogged in the pore. And when that happens, oil and the bacteria that causes acne, which is called P. acne bacteria, gets trapped inside, which then leads us to stage 2 of a breakout. And that's the overproduction of oil. So the question is, why are we producing so much oil? Well, basically, androgen hormones, which is testosterone, stimulates the release of sebum or oil from the oil glands, which are attached to your pores. Now, things like hormonal fluctuations or emotional stress can increase testosterone or androgen levels, and cause you to produce more oil, which then can lead to clogged pores. So think of it like there's a stopper or a plug that's trapping the gunk inside of your pores. As you continue to produce oil, it continues to be trapped behind the plug, which then builds up pressure inside of the plugged pore and causes irritation. And that leads us to step 3. At this point, the P. acne bacteria, which naturally grows on our skin, now have an abundant supply of food, which is oil and sebum. And it continues to feast on that, and the bacteria actually breeds inside of the plugged pore. Now, if the bacteria and the sebum stay trapped below the surface of the skin, it results in what's known as a whitehead. Now, if the pore opens up and the sebum, which contains melanin, which is our skin pigment, is exposed to the air, it oxidizes and turns black. And then it is called a what? Blackhead. Now that leads us to stage 4 of the stage of a breakout. Now stage 4 occurs because the bacteria continue to feed on this oil and the dead skin, and as they do so, they release a byproduct that the skin recognizes as a foreign invader, and it causes the skin to produce an immune response. So white blood cells rush to the infected area, and that's what causes the swelling, the redness, and the irritation. And the end result of that, of course, is a red, uncomfortable, tender bump that we know as a pimple, which is also called a pustule or a papule. So that leads us kind of into the different types of acne, and I've broken those out into 2 categories: non-inflammatory acne and inflammatory acne. Non-inflammatory acne is what I consider to be mild acne. Non-inflammatory acne would be the whitehead or amelia, which we talked about, which is a closed, plugged pore, and then blackheads, which are an open, plugged pore. And again, both of those are what I consider mild acne. Those can easily be treated by the use of topical skincare products or adjusting products in your regimen to really address those different issues. And then we have inflammatory acne. Inflammatory acne would be papules, which are small red bumps, or pustules, which are papules that have pus associated with them. Both of those are really what we commonly refer to as pimples. Now, papules can actually, I consider that to be moderate acne. Pustules can either be moderate or severe acne, depending on the severity of that condition. And then we have the 2 different types of severe acne. One is called nodules, which is large, solid, painful lumps that are beneath the surface of the skin, and cystic lesions, which are painful, pus-filled lumps beneath the surface of the skin. This is also really referred to as hormonal acne because it most happens either along the jawline or on the neck, and that would be an indicator of hormonal acne. So now that we really kind of know the different types of acne, the stages of an acne breakout, let's look at the causes of acne. One of the key contributors to acne is genetics. Now, genetics play a far more crucial role in the development of acne than environmental factors do, although both play a role in the development of acne for those who are prone, who have acne-prone skin. Our genetics really determines so much about our bodies. It determines how we produce hormones, how our skin sloughs, how our oil production is managed, but also how our skin responds to the P. acne bacteria. A good rule of thumb, and most experts will agree on this, that if both of your parents had significant acne, then your risk for developing acne as an adult is very high. So I think genetics plays a very key role in acne, and it's important to understand that. Hormones are another key factor in the production of acne, particularly as it relates to women. When it comes to causes of acne, what happens on the inside of your body is as important as what happens on the outside. And hormones are chemical messengers that travel through our body and regulate very complex functions of the body, such as growth and metabolism. And they play a very big role, particularly during times of puberty, pregnancy, that monthly cycle, or even during menopause. Now, androgen hormones, which again is testosterone, and yes, women have testosterone as well, cause your body's oil production glands to enlarge and produce more oil. And when they do, when there's an increase of oil, there's also an increase in the likelihood that you'll have clogged pores. Now, women are particularly prone to what's called hormonal acne. The rate at which your body produces oil or sebum is affected by your hormonal balance. And that's the same for both men and women, and it fluctuates throughout our lives. The normal variation in estrogen, which is the hormone responsible for the development and regulation of the female reproductive system, and testosterone or androgen levels can cause hormonal acne in women. And that explains why women often experience hormonal acne not only during puberty, but also later in life. Pregnancy and the time shortly after giving birth, postpartum time, causes an increase in hormones that also can wreak havoc on a woman's skin. As does the period of perimenopausal and menopausal. That stage often causes hormones to fluctuate, and you can also see that you are at higher risk of acne during that time as well. Now, another hormone that is an acne trigger is cortisol. Cortisol is produced by the adrenal glands, and it's called the stress hormone. So if you're under an extreme amount of stress and you're not getting enough sleep, which also raises cortisol levels, then that also contributes to acne breakouts. Now, another area that we don't always think about, or we don't always want to address, I guess to be blunt, when we have acne, is our diet. And our diet plays a very crucial role in every function of our body, but particularly our skin. And if you are prone to acne, your diet is a crucial aspect of that as well. For years, there was a common myth that French fries and chocolate caused acne. And now we know that those foods don't necessarily cause acne, but there are foods that do trigger breakouts. So I think it's important to really understand what kind of foods are great if you are prone to acne. First of all, foods that are rich in omega-3 fatty acids and vitamin A, free of any added hormones or antibiotics. That's a crucial aspect for a diet for those who are acne prone. If you're wondering what omega-3 rich foods are, that would be things like wild salmon, avocado, flaxseed oil, walnuts. Those are good fats, and those are good fats that actually help to balance our skin and help to balance our hormone levels. If you're looking for foods that are rich in vitamin A, that would be things like sweet potatoes, carrots, dark leafy greens. Spinach is a great source of vitamin A. Winter squashes, bell peppers, fish, and tropical fruits. Reduce your intake of foods that are high on the glycemic level. That would be things like white pasta, rice, bread, and sweets. And that keeps your blood sugar and your insulin production under control. And then I'll also opt for low-fat proteins like chicken, fish, and lean beef. Now, there are also a ton of nutritional supplements that are out there that have been shown to have positive effects on acne-prone skin. Things like probiotics, which help balance the bacteria in our gut, which then, of course, as we've talked about week after week, plays such a crucial role in every aspect of our body. Green tea, which is a great anti-inflammatory, which also helps to treat acne breakouts. Zinc, vitamin B, those are great examples of nutritional supplements that you can take that actually work from the inside out to help you combat acne-prone skin. Now, environment also plays a very key role in acne breakouts, and there are a lot of things that the environment, contributes to acne. Pollution, of course, we know if you live in a more urban environment and the air is not as clean, we know that, of course, can clog the pores and lead to acne breakouts. But also, no matter where we live, there are things like heat and humidity, which actually increase the oil production in the skin, which then, perpetuates the issue if you are acne prone, since that tends to clog the pores. But not only heat and humidity, but also dry, cold air during the winter months also can trigger acne breakouts because it causes skin dehydration. And of course, skin dehydration leads to an overproduction of oil, which the skin naturally does to overcompensate for surface dryness, which then can clog the pores and lead to acne breakouts. We also know that excessive sun exposure is not great, and it can be a trigger for some for acne breakouts. But in that lane, sunscreens are a huge culprit when it comes to acne breakouts, particularly those containing chemical SPF ingredients that form an occlusive barrier on the skin, which then increases the heat inside of the skin follicle, or inside of the follicle, which then causes, can trigger an acne breakout as well. And then we get into personal habits, cosmetics, and how they really affect acne. You know, the National Institute of Health says that cosmetics containing heavy oils and silicones can alter the cells of the follicles and make them stick together, which lead to trapped bacteria in the pores. So it's really important to look at what's in our products. You know, and we don't necessarily always have to have ingredients or formulas that are targeted specifically for acne-prone skin. There are wonderful benefits that can be found from you know, products even that aren't, you know, designed specifically for acne-prone skin, like the Truora products. So when it comes to skincare, choosing the best ingredients in your skincare, or the best skincare, is very important. Use clean, natural skincare products that are free of synthetic ingredients that help maintain the skin's microbial balance and moisture balance. Avoid cleansers that use harsh detergents or surfactants. Surfactants are foaming agents. They can strip the skin and they can cause unnecessary irritation, not to mention throw off the balance of the microbiome. It's very important if you have acne-prone skin to look for ingredients that are chemical exfoliants. Now, these can be alpha hydroxy acids. In our case, we use phytic acid, which is a form of alpha hydroxy acid, and also the probiotic ingredients that we use, which we know produce lactic acid in the skin, which is an alpha hydroxy acid, which then helps to aid the cellular turnover. If the skin is constantly being sloughed, you know, then we reduce the risk of the dead skin cells clogging our pores and causing acne breakouts. Avoid heavy oils and silicones, which we know put an occlusive barrier on the skin and to clog the pores. Avoid alcohol-based products, which I know are, you know, famous for, you know, for acne skincare regimens. It's actually one of the worst things you can do for your skin. But avoid alcohol-based toners and harsh scrubs. I know it's our instinct sometimes if we have acne to, actually that's the worst thing that we could possibly do. Over scrubbing the skin actually can spread the acne bacteria and can perpetuate the problem. And then make sure that you cleanse and moisturize twice a day, every day. You know, a lot of times people who have acne-prone skin don't need a moisturizer. Well, if you're not using a moisturizer, then it's often the case that the skin becomes dehydrated and there's an overproduction of oil. So actually using a moisturizer helps to balance the oil production in the skin, as do the probiotics that we use. With continued use, the probiotics that are in our line actually help to control and balance the oil production in the skin, which then in turn, combined with the chemical exfoliant benefits, will actually help to decrease the acne breakouts. Now, when it comes to makeup, there are probably people out there who say, you know, makeup's not great if you have acne-prone skin. Actually, choosing the right makeup products is actually the key to using makeup in tandem with acne. First of all, make sure that you don't have any heavy oils in the makeup products, and also silicones, which are very, very common in color cosmetics. They actually put an occlusive barrier on the skin and can trigger acne breakouts. So 2 good rules of thumb: Start clean, which means always cleanse your face. Make sure you've used your skincare regimen before applying makeup, and always clean your brushes and your sponges and things to keep from spreading the bacteria. And then don't share your makeup tools. Sharing your makeup tools equals sharing bacteria. So if you've got sisters or your mother and daughter and you're sharing those makeup brushes, you might want to make sure you're cleaning all of those off pretty well. And then this goes without saying, but make sure you remove your makeup before bed. You know, nighttime is the time when our skin goes into repair mode. And if our skin isn't allowed to breathe, it isn't allowed to really to function at its optimal level. And plus, keep in mind that a good night's sleep reduces cortisol levels, which again can be an acne trigger. So tips for treating acne, and I broke these out into 3 categories just to make it easier to really understand, you know, where the limitations are and where the opportunities are for treating acne breakouts. I broke them out into mild acne breakouts, moderate, and then more severe. So starting with mild acne breakouts, you know, even if a person is not prone to chronic acne breakouts, a change in a skincare regimen can trigger a few breakouts as the skin is purging and as the skin adjusts to all these new products you're trying. Now, if a breakout occurs when you're trying a new skincare regimen, first thing to recognize is this is likely going to pass and resolve itself with continued use as the skin purges and gets used to the products. Now, while you don't want to completely stop the purging process, one thing that I recommend to slow it down a little bit is to minimize the use of the products that you're using. In this case, I would recommend stripping the regimen back down to really 3 products. Cleanser twice a day, and that's going to, you know, gently cleanse the skin. The tonic, and I would say starting out, if you are prone to acne breakouts, maybe once a day on the tonic, but definitely the tonic is an important part of the regimen because it contains that phytic acid, which is a chemical exfoliant that's going to help keep the skin sloughed. And then the AM moisturizer, the day lotion, I would recommend that AM and PM just to maintain the hydration levels. So do that for a little bit of time, see how your skin responds. Once the acne kind of starts to normalize and your skin starts to respond in a positive way, then you can add the other products back into the regimen. But it's always good if you are experiencing acne breakouts that last more than a few days, strip the regimen down and then, you know, allow your skin to adjust and then build it back up. Now, if you do have more stubborn breakouts like whiteheads or even milia that don't seem to be coming to the surface, a good natural clay-based mask is great for applying to the skin to help pull impurities from the pores. Also, a gentle exfoliation, physical exfoliation is also a great thing to add because you know not only are the chemical exfoliants loosening those cells, but you want to sweep them away as well. I recommend something because remember we don't want to use harsh or coarse scrubs. One thing I recommend is a coarse washcloth when you're cleansing, which is great for just giving gentle exfoliation, or even products that you can incorporate into your regimen. One way I love to incorporate physical exfoliation into the regimen is something very simple: baking soda. Either mix it with a little water into a paste, use it as a scrub, or mix a little baking soda in with your cleanser. It's a great way of just gently sloughing away those dead skin cells without causing unnecessary irritation or without spreading that acne bacteria. Do that once or twice a week, and that'd be great to really help keep the skin free of those dead skin cells. And then a very important thing is take a look at the other products that you're using in your regimen and adjust those as necessary, particularly SPF ingredients. If you're using an SPF product, it's best to use something that contains titanium dioxide or even better, zinc oxide. Zinc is a great ingredient to provide anti-irritant benefits and also to help speed the healing process for acne-prone skin. So if you are using a physical block SPF, zinc oxide is a great option to use because it will help not only give you that great physical barrier to prevent UV radiation, but it also helps heal the acne blemish and reduce the irritation as well. And then make sure that your other products are free of silicones, which we know, again, can clog the pores and create an occlusive barrier. And then, most importantly, realize that it could take up to 4 to 6 weeks before the skin is completely purged and the blemishes are gone. And that's with any skincare regimen, not just ours. Now, moderate acne breakouts. Now, for those who are prone to acne breakouts, it's important to recognize that any change in your skincare regimen can trigger an acne breakout. And one of the key things to keep in mind, that one of the main reasons that acne treatments fail for people is because they don't give it long enough to be effective in the skin. Any little change to that regimen can alter the results that you're expecting to see. So one thing that I recommend, first and foremost, is start out slowly with a very simplified regimen of products. And I would recommend those same 3 products. The cleanser twice a day to gently keep the skin cleansed, keep that oil production at bay, tonic to help exfoliate the skin and prevent dead cells from clogging the pores, and then the AM moisturizer, both AM and PM, which is going to balance the hydration, but also going to give you that good dose of that probiotic ingredient, which again has great attributes when it comes to treating acne breakouts. Most important, realize for moderate acne to severe acne, it could take 6 to 12 weeks to see the full results from an acne treatment. Stick with it. Don't alter the products in the regimen. Find a simple regimen and stick with it for the 6 to 12 weeks and allow your skin to do its thing. And that's with any acne treatment that you start. 6 to 12 weeks is typically the general time frame necessary for seeing dramatic improvements. If you have more moderate to severe acne breakout, this is a great opportunity to look at your diet. And the things that, the things that we mentioned earlier that can really help to curb the acne breakouts from the inside out. And then look for those nutritional supplements that we mentioned, the probiotics, green tea, zinc, vitamin B, that really help target the formation of acne from the inside out. We had some great comments here about the use of omega supplements. That's another great thing to add to your nutritional regimen to help with oil production and acne. And then again, just like before, adjust the other products that you're using, SPF products that contain chemical sunscreens, opt for one that contains zinc oxide, and then make sure that you're not using anything with silicones or heavy oils that can clog the pores. And then we get to severe acne breakouts. Now, when acne breakouts are more severe and they're more cystic, or they result in chronic pustules, there's a limit to what over-the-counter treatments can really do for someone. Now, a basic skin and we recommended by any dermatologist, but there may be times when medical intervention has to happen in the form of prescription medications or different treatments recommended by a physician to really help get the treatment or get the problem under control. So again, just like before, keep the regimen simple. Regardless of what kind of skin you have, you need a great cleanser. You need a tonic, which is going to give you that the exfoliation benefits to help keep the dead skin cells at bay. Also, the prebiotic ingredients, which are in the tonic, which will help feed the good bacteria to help balance out the bacteria load on the skin. And then your day lotion, both AM and PM, which is going to help balance the moisture. And then also seek the advice of a physician or a dermatologist who can prescribe treatments. If you are being prescribed treatments, it's always recommended that treatment go on immediately after your tonic, before your moisturizer, because you want it as close to clean skin as possible to make sure that it's being as effective as it could be. So really, that's I think that's a lot to digest. And again, I will post these notes, but I do want to open it up for any questions that we have. I'm going to look through here. I saw a few come through. Tammy kombucha. I'm never sure exactly how to say that. Kombucha is a great probiotic ingredient, natural probiotic, but it is very good for balancing oil production and acne in the skin. Marty, can we use the clay mask we used to have? You know, I don't remember the specific ingredients in that. Specifically, it should be fine. If not, you know, most natural grocery stores will sell just that basic clay that you mix with water, and it's great for a mask. Froggy, can we use the BC Black Charcoal mask? Yeah, I think that's a good choice. I'm not. Charcoal is actually great for acne. There's not much in there to pull debris from the skin in that product, but it would be. I think it would be perfectly fine. Marty, when are we getting SPF in our products? We are working on an SPF day lotion that will be out later this year. Deb, what's the best regimen or vitamin should an acne-prone person with diabetes take? You know, I don't know that I'm qualified to give you the answer for that, and that would be definitely something that you might want to speak with your physician about, or you know, do an internet search. I'm sure there's a lot of information out there that I'm probably not the best equipped to give you. Joanne, my granddaughter has acne. Can she use our brush we used to have? I'm assuming you mean the mechanical rotary brush that was used with the microdermabrasion product. Yeah, that is a great product to use for physical exfoliation during cleansing a couple of times a week. That's great to use. It won't irritate the skin or spread bacteria. Can she use the brush with the cleanser and baking soda mix? That would be perfectly fine. Any other questions? I know that was will this video be available for non-Facebook users? It will not. These Facebook Lives are exclusive to this group. That's why we ask that you give us your name and consultant number so we can verify that you are a consultant. I'm not sure how the share button works on this, but you may be able to share this outside of the group. But it'll be sitting in this group for group members. Liz, have I heard of Foreo? Is it safe? I have not heard of Foreo, so I don't know if it's safe or not. Paulette, what would you recommend for acne scarring? Actually, our regimen has quite a few things that are great for acne scarring. First of all, the phytic acid in the tonic, which is a chemical exfoliant, works to help stimulate the cellular renewal, which will help to even out scars and skin discolorations on its own. We have hyperpigmentation ingredients, skin brightening ingredients that are in all of the products, which are very effective for fading discolorations that are related to scarring. And then we also have the peptides that are in our formulas, which help increase collagen and elastin in the skin, which help with deeper scarring or pop scarring. So those would be great. Well, thank you, Georgette. I appreciate that. All right, it looks like questions are winding down. I'm here as always. If you have questions, please post them in the group. I'll get to them. I go through a couple times a day and answer those. Also, if you have any topics you would like to see me cover here on each week, please send me a note or post it here in the group. I would love to get some ideas from you guys about what you'd like to hear. And then don't forget that Don't forget that registration for Empower, our conference at the end of the month, is open, and you'll definitely want to take advantage of that. If you haven't signed up, please do. It's going to be exciting. We've got a lot of new products that we're rolling out, so I think you'll have a great time. I know you'll have a great time. And I guess that is about it. So I'm going to sign off now, let you guys go. I'm going to post these notes immediately into the group so you can have access to those. There's a little more detail in the notes than I went through here verbally, but you'll be able to take a look at those, print them out, and so you can get so you can use those to study up. So if you have any questions, please shoot me a note, post it in our Facebook group. Otherwise, I will see you back here next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central. And I hope you have a great week. Thanks, guys.